Hey guys, JackelWolf. Gonna try something different here. Actually, something I've been thinking about for quite a few years, actually. Now, besides YouTube, one of my big hobbies is gardening. So I thought I'd try to put together some gardening vlogs, just to, update, once or twice a month, just how things are going, things I'm working on, things I'm planting, things I'm harvesting. So right now it is April 14th, so we're halfway through April, and this is how my yard still looks. So might not be the best year to start this, because there's still probably about 2 feet of snow in places. Now this is the back of my yard, so it does not get a lot of sunlight during the winter, so front yard's a little bit better off, but I don't actually do a lot of gardening in my front yard. Right down here you can see the edge of what is one of my square foot garden beds. What I wanted to focus on today is I've got a bunch of fruiting bushes that I'm going to have to trim. Normally I do this around February. Where we are, we get a lot of Chinooks, so it will go from like -20 to +10 overnight, and we'll get like a couple of days of that, and it's a good opportunity to get out into the garden and basically do some trimming. So for today I want to trim up my current bushes. I've got 3 of them. I've got just next to the the shed door there, I've got some raspberries that I'm going to have to prune. And then out front of the house, I've got my apple tree, and also I've got 2 bushes I put in there last year. I can't remember what type of fruit it is. Sort of like a cross between a blueberry and a gooseberry, I think. I haven't actually got any fruit off of it. We only went in last year, so I'll be kind of curious if we get anything this year, or if we got another year before anything happens. But looks like my greenhouse door popped open in the winter. The snow would have kept it closed for the most part. You can see it's a little jam-packed in here. Tried growing corn in here last year. I don't think I aired it out enough. Actually got some leftover onion sets in there. I have to see if I can't revive them. But once the snow's out here, I can see there's no way I'm getting anything cleaned up, really. But once the snow's gone, I can start pulling stuff back out, tidying stuff up, and doing some starts in here before we get our last frost. Last frost for where we are, we're zone 3A. I believe we're zone 3A. I'd have to double check, but is usually May long weekend for us, which is like May 20. Usually around May 22nd-ish, give or take a day depending on the year. Oh boy, I might not even be able to get in here. That is going to put a little damper in my plans. You can see how deep the snow is back here behind the house. Like I said, it's probably about 2 feet in some places. This was an exceptionally snowy year. I can't remember having this much snow stick around. I mentioned Chinooks earlier, and usually we get those every 1 or 2 weeks, and any snow we've got on the ground is gone. Actually, you can see this is actually deeper than it looks. I know Creative Kitty spent a lot of time playing out here, so there's a lot more packed down than further into the yard. Okay, well, I think we're gonna have to call this one a no-go for today. All my tools are in the shed over there, and I've got no way to get them because it looks like the ground is still frozen. So that's going to be it for this one. maybe I'll combine it with try again next weekend. Well, maybe during the week if we got a nice evening, and we will see you guys in a bit. All right. Okay, guys, it is sort of a week later. It's April 21st or 22nd. I can't remember off the top of my head, but weather has gotten quite a bit better. You can see the yard has cleaned up pretty good. All the snow is still in the shade, so it's kind of, it still hasn't melted yet. I have got a big cleanup I got to do. But I kind of want to catch up from where we were last week. Just take a peek around the garden while we're at it. You can see where I've planted the onions. Now these aren't sprouting yet. These are just sort of where they were from last year. They held up pretty good, I think. I think we're going to have a good set of onions this year. They're always one of the things that I like to grow probably the most. Got a lot of junk I didn't really clean up very well at the end. Now I had potatoes here. No, I had onions here last year. You can see there's 2 that I left over. Those are going to be for seed this year. I had corn in here. It didn't do very good. I don't think I fertilized it enough. So we'll probably try some of that again this year. Here is where I planted my garlic. Actually, pretty sure this is where I put the garlic in last spring. Garlic and the onions are something I was trying to overwinter. Well, I always overwinter garlic, but onions are something new. Oh, looks like somebody was digging in here. Probably one of the local cats, stray cats, likes to come in here and poke around every now and again. But if that actually looks like, it might actually be sprouting, which would be really nice. We are a little bit late in the year, but we're not too bad. I had potatoes in here. This is where the leftover straw is that I grow them in. And actually I put more onions over here as well. I'm having trouble remembering where I planted everything, but so I'm gonna have to wait and see what comes up. I know I planted quite a few, but today actually what I wanted to do was focus on getting some of these trees trimmed, or these fruit trees and bushes. Oh, and I am not wearing the proper shoes for this. All right, let's see if I can even get into my shed. It's probably going to be part of this episode. Oh, it is still frozen solid. Alright, I might have to go see if I can't find a shovel and try to dig this out. So, I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. So this is what I've got to deal with down here. It looks like it's got about an inch, maybe an inch and a half of ice right in front of my shed door. Definitely something I haven't had to deal with before. So I'm just boiling a little bit of water inside. I'm going to try to use that to melt it enough that I can kind of get in there. Okay, so I have the kettle. And here comes Creative Kitty 09 to give us a little bit of a hand.
What are we doing?
I'm trying to get into the shed. You see how much ice there is down there?
Yeah.
That is crazy, isn't it? it on there, but there's a little bit of green, which tells me, I think, that I was getting pretty close to when I needed to get this done anyway. So I think that's a good sign. I think you're a little big for that car now. Okay, so it is really getting cloudy. They did call for a little bit of rain today, of all things. So I'm going to try to get this done a little bit quick. It is raining. Alright, I guess we gotta put this on hold. Hey guys, so I am back. It's about 4 hours later. Rainstorm has passed. Sun is out. It is a beautiful, beautiful, it's almost evening now. I'll be going in for dinner in a little bit. But while it was raining, Creative Kitty and I, we went swimming, and we did a little bit of grocery shopping. And while we were there, we picked up some seeds. I went looking for seed potato, but it doesn't look like it's out yet. Something I'm going to have to keep an eye out for, because I got to get them sort of chitted up and ready to go. But we picked up some asparagus. I've never grown it. It's probably going to be my unique thing to grow for the year. But also picked up a ton of other seeds. Creative Kitty picked up some catnip, so we'll have the cats all over the neighborhood coming in. Iceberg lettuce, carrots, and I think, did I get 3 types of carrots? We really enjoy carrots. Nice, super simple to grow. So we always got some Nantes as well, and then our personal favorite, the purple haze carrots. We grow these pretty much every year. They are super, super tasty. Some edible peas, edible pod peas, and some Lincoln Homesteader peas, which are not, the shell isn't quite as edible. Creative Kitty actually prefers these. She doesn't like eating the shell. She prefers taking them out of the shell and eating them individually, one by one. Got a little bit of corn. I think it doesn't feel like there's a lot in here. But this is not for planting for quite yet, although I may pre-start it in the greenhouse in a week or so. Spinach, another one of our personal favorites. Super easy to grow. Definitely likes our cool weather. So. Basically, all I'm looking for is, old sort of, you can see there's a raspberry on that one. That tells me that this one had raspberries last year, so it is done. It may produce, but they will be very small and not very good. So I'm taking that out, and it will encourage new growth. Okay, so that is it. This is, I guess, JackelWolf's garden vlog for August 15th to August 21st. Still snow on the ground, still a ton of it. Lots of stuff to do, but there is some green that is making me very hopeful. Normally around this time I'm planting peas and carrots. So hopefully I'll have a chance next weekend to get a little bit more done. So that's it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know. Please please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.